On tonight's Gwinnett Prep Rally, Walton? East Cobb? Are you kidding me? Tough luck for resurgent Dacula. Check out that video coming up. But Grayson stays in the hunt and may very well run the table. And Buford also played another football game. It was so easy that their super stud Vidal Alexander had time to talk with us during the second quarter. Not really, but he could have. Rams and Wolves move on up the food chain, and Gwinnett Prep Rally has it for you right now.
For more than 15 years, your source for Gwinnett County sports is Gwinnett Prep Rally.
Hello and welcome to your county's original high school sports television program. This is Gwinnett Prep Rally, now in its 19th season, and we can be seen right here on GCPS TV for the entire 2011-2012 school year. I'm Todd Klein alongside Will Hammock from the Gwinnett Daily Post, and Will, we have reached the semifinals of the state football playoffs, and two Gwinnett teams remain standing and both have very good shots at a state title.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams are surprised, as both undefeated. Grayson and Buford have a great chance at the 5A and 2A titles. Kind of facing rematches this week, teams that they know very well, and for Grayson particularly, taking on a Colquitt County team that knocked them out in this round last year.
Well, let's get right to the highlights from the quarterfinals of the state playoffs. And we start with one of the favorites in 5A, taking on a surprising newcomer looking to pull a shocking upset as Grayson played host to West Forsyth. GPR's Brian Wise has more.
It was a battle for a spot in the semifinals between Grayson and West Forsyth. First quarter, Rams with the ball, third down to give. It's Devin Gillespie up the left side picking up the first down. Later in the drive, the handoff is to Wayne Galman, who finds some space, getting the ball down inside the 10-yard line. A few plays later, it's Robert Kimdiche straight ahead. Touchdown, Grayson. They would lead 6-0. The Wolverines would respond after a 63-yard kickoff return by Jake Vizarek. From 11 yards out, it's A.J. Ederle with the quarterback draw. West Forsyth would take the lead 7-6. Wolverines force the Rams to punt on their next possession. Austin Meadows with a booming kick. 60 yards in the air is mishandled by Graham Bunting. Rams recover deep in West Forsyth territory. Later in the drive, second quarter, who else would get the ball? Kimdiche from 2 yards out, touchdown Rams. They lead 12-7. Rams force the Wolverines to punt. The snap is off the hands of the punter. Grayson would get the ball just outside their 20-yard line. A few plays later, the gives to none other than Kimdiche, his third touchdown of the night. Rams lead 19-7. Next Grayson possession, under 2 minutes left in the first half. It's Nick Schuessler with the screen pass to Terrius Watson. Makes a move back to the inside, finds some space and takes the ball down inside Wolverine territory. Later in the drive, it's Schuessler again with the screen pass to Watson, who fights and bounces his way into the end zone. Grayson leads 26-7 at the half. Second half now, Schuessler back to pass, throws deep downfield, complete to Marcus Lindquist, who makes a beautiful diving catch. Rams threatening again. Finishing off the drive, it's Kimdiche. Touchdown Rams. They cruise in this one 33-7 over the Wolverines of West Forsyth.
Well, Will, Grayson was the big favorite in this game, and like a good team, they took care of business right from the start. Really never gave West Forsyth much hope that they could pull an upset. Yeah,
that was the big question we had come in. How would Grayson bounce back from that emotional win over Lowndes? And they really did well. They took care of business. They came in knowing they were the better team against kind of a young, improving West Forsyth team. Really ran the ball well, showed some good passing offense, and that defense just continues to take care of business. And even the special teams made some huge plays in this one.
And when you're undefeated playing such good football, maybe you get a little nitpicky with these teams trying to find out what they can do better. And maybe some of the criticism of Grayson is they don't throw the ball real well. But we saw there at the end of the first half, that 2-minute drill, if they can throw the ball like that, I think Grayson's going to be very difficult to stop.
Yeah, I think that's a big difference in this Grayson team. A lot of years you'd cringe when Grayson started to throw the ball because you knew that it was really a struggle to get that done. But Nick Schuessler's a good quarterback. He's got Marcus Lindquist out there. He's got Kalen Hightower. He's got some good weapons in the passing game. You saw him execute that 2-minute drill great before halftime. Terrius Watson made some big catches to make plays and really just turning the tide and turning that game into a blowout because they were able to throw the ball there at the end of the half.
Well, back to the highlights, and the Dacula Falcons finished second to Grayson in Region 8, but they look to keep pace with the Rams by reaching the state semifinals for the first time since 2005. They would have to go on the road and take down unbeaten Walton to keep their season alive. Brian Wise has all the action from Marietta.
Dacula was on the road for their quarterfinal matchup against the Raiders of Walton. Early first quarter, Dacula forced a punt. Back to receive is Tyron Jones. Splits two defenders, finds a seam, weaves up and down the field, makes one more tackler miss, 62 yards on the punt return. Walton leads 6-0. After forcing the Raiders to punt, Dacula set to receive. The snap is over the head of Nakai Poole. Ball rolls into the end zone. There to dive on it is Josh Bullock for the Falcons, who take a 7-6 lead. Late first quarter, Raiders with the ball. Handoff is to Tyron Jones. Finds a hole, splits the Falcons' defense. 43 yards on the touchdown. Walton's two-point conversion is good. They lead 14-7. Now late second quarter, Raiders with the ball. The give is to Jones, who breaks a tackle but has the ball knocked out by Chase Lloyd, who also dives on the ball, recovers the fumble. Dacula trying to add points late. With 4 seconds left, David McEwing, 26 yards out, cuts the lead to 4. 14-10, Walton at the half. Action now in the fourth, score still 14-10 Raiders. Walton has the ball at their own 4. Parker McLeod from his own end zone throws complete to Zach Blaylock, who has nothing but space in front of him. 96 yards on the throw and catch. Walton takes a 21-10 lead. Next Dacula possession is Rocky Cocobianco with the option keeper up the middle, breaks a tackle, getting into open space, finally gets brought down near the 20-yard line. Later in the drive, it's McEwing again, this time from 42 yards out. Dacula trails 21-13 midway through the fourth quarter. One last chance for the Falcons. Brandon Goodson heaves the ball into the end zone. Jumping in front of the pass for the interception is Blaylock. Raiders hold on to win 21-13 over the Falcons of Dacula.
It was one of those games, Will, Dacula just couldn't really get it going offensively, but for a couple of big plays that Walton got, they played pretty well and hung in there as well as you could expect it, but at the end, Walton just had a little bit too much big play potential.
Yeah, they fought tooth and nail with an undefeated Walton team, a very good Walton team, and Dacula, I don't think they can hang their head on how they played. They really did well, and defensively I thought they did a great job once again. Had some big plays go their way, had some big plays go against them. I felt like there's a lot of penalties in this game that kind of maybe disrupted the flow for both sides. There's a lot of flags in this one, but definitely Dacula give them credit for fighting through and making this a game and fighting until the end. And
I think they fought through the end really for the whole season. Every year it seems like we have at least maybe one team like this. They get off to a slow start like Dacula did. They find their way and get going during the regular season and make a run in the playoffs. Another good example of this Dacula team is not how you start that first game of the year, but how you finish. And this team really finished well. Yeah, definitely. They lost those first 2 games. People were kind of writing them off and kind of surprised that they were 0-2. But even the teams that beat them said, watch out for this Dacula team. It's a very good football team. I know Mill Creek and Norcross coaches both told me that. And obviously you saw that throughout the season. Dacula made a great run through the regular season under a new head coach, Jared Zito. Him and his staff did a great job and got the team playing their best at the right time of the season. Time now to check on the AA state playoffs, and the Buford Wolves look to keep their state title drive alive with a win over visiting Elbert County in their quarterfinal matchup. And GPR's Nathan Shutter was there.
Buford looking to keep their title hopes alive, taking on Elbert County. The Wolves would strike first. Sam Clay with the pitch to Andre Johnson, and he won't be denied by the Devil defense. Buford up 7-0 after 1. Second quarter, Elbert County backed up in their own end. The quarterback tries to make a play, but it's picked off by Jalen Mize. He bobs and weaves his way all the way for the touchdown. Wolves up 14-0. Later in the quarter, Clay rolls to his left and dumps it off to the fullback Nathan Staub. He makes one man miss and breaks free into the secondary. No one is going to catch him, and the Buford Wolves are in command, up 21-0 at the break. Second half, and the home team will continue to roll. The give to Johnson, and he bursts up the middle, doing his best Herschel Walker impersonation on his way to the end zone. Touchdown Buford, and they now lead 28-0. Devils trying to get something going on offense, but the Wolves defense was stellar all night long. Vidal Alexander coming up with a big sack to stop the drive. Buford offense back to work. Clay rolling to his right, throws across his body, and Ryan Dillard makes the leaping grab to move the chains. They would capitalize later in the drive. Staub bulldozing his way in for his second touchdown of the night, and Buford in complete control, up 35-0. That will allow the reserves to see some game action. Taylor Mitchell under center. The give is to Andrew Sciarra. He picks up some big yardage, getting down inside the 5-yard line. And they will punch it in from there with Dontravius Wilson doing the honors, and Buford advances to the state semifinals, 49-13 over Elbert County.
Well, it's more of the same, Will. It's hard to imagine that this is a state quarterfinal game and it's such a one-sided affair. We've come used to seeing Buford do this. My question to you, Do these games get any closer in the next 2 rounds for the Wolves?
I think they'll get a little bit closer than this, but not much closer. I think this is a team that's just head and shoulders better than everybody in Class AA. What they do on both sides of the ball, they're pretty solid in special teams. I mean, that's kind of, if there's a weakness, it is the special teams, but that's just only because their offense and defenses are so strong. And I look for them to just roll it through these last 2 games and win another state title.
All right, when we come back, we'll sit down with the Buford Wolves player who has been paving the way for their run to a 5th consecutive state title. Plus, we'll get in the mind of Will Hammock, and we'll unveil this week's building blocks. You're watching Gwinnett Prep Rally on GCPS TV. For 19 years, the county's high school sports television program.
For 2 decades, Coulter Sports has been making dreams possible for thousands of Gwinnett County student athletes.
Sometimes we've been over the top.
Thrill is gone.
Steve Coulter sings,
And the leader of the clan will take no prisoners on this day.
Sometimes we've been straight to the point.
Beverly Coulter is the most persuasive sporting goods salesman in Gwinnett County history, and that's including your son, Steve.
But most of all, we've cared deeply about every Gwinnett parent and student who walked through this front door.
Over all these years,
we thank you for your support.